Alrighty. So, the Huawei Watch Fit. It's on sale right now as I'm recording this fairly cheaply on Amazon.ca, Amazon Canada. I didn't check Amazon.com. It's on inexpensively enough that makes me wonder if there's not a new version coming out, but looking for a replacement watch for this guy. Get that in frame here. It is a Garmin Vivo Active. It's a few years old now. Still works pretty well. Gets pretty beat up for being something mostly plastic and stuff like that. It's able to handle a lot of stress, and I've used it on marathons. I've used it on ultra marathons. It's got decent battery life. I can go a few weeks without having to charge it. If I'm using the GPS, then it goes down a lot faster, but I can still get quite a bit of time on it. I think I have done an ultra that took me about 9 hours, and it lasted through that. So it's not bad. I mean, it's getting older, so the battery's going to be degrading a bit, but it does really well. I also had a Samsung Active, Galaxy Active, I think, and it decided that waterproofing didn't mean that it had to keep water out of the internals, and it kind of died. I did like the brighter screen though, the brighter colors. That is one thing with this Garmin, is that it's not particularly bright or shiny, but I did like the bright colors, and it had more smart features because it was newer, and it could do more stuff. Yeah, and it had the heart rate monitor, which the Garmin here does not have. So I decided to pick this up. I heard, somebody had picked one up and thought it was pretty decent, so I figured, well, it was on sale, I'll give it a try and just see how it does go, and I'll do a quick unboxing here, give it a quick little test, and then over time I will see how it works for me. I suspect that it will, I don't know, end up being kind of one of two watches I wear. I'll use it for certain things while I'm, say, doing stuff where I want more of the smart notifications and the heart rate monitoring and stuff like that. But then other times I'll want to use the Garmin because of the GPS and the longer battery life. Now, this is supposed to have a really good battery life, so we will see. Have to do a comparison with that over time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what this is like. There's not a lot of customization from what I understand. Huawei doesn't have a huge kind of third party or community building a lot of stuff essentially for free, like my little stormtrooper on my Garmin here. That was just something I got for free off of their their community stuff. So yeah, let's give this an unbox and we will get on and see what this is like. All right, so this is the first time I've tried this particular setup for doing an unboxing, so we'll see what it looks like and how it works. So let's get this guy opened here. There's a couple pieces of tape on either side. And there's the watch. It's good, it's got that on there. Let's take the watch out of here first. It's a hard foam, keeping it in shape. There's that. Let's see what else is in the box here. Okay, two sides. This one's got a little document icon on it, and this one's got cable on it, so might not be too much in here. Yeah, it's just really a lot of paper. What do we got in here? Just a variety of information there. Warranty card. So what is covered, what's not. So it's supposed to be good for 5 atmospheres, so that's pretty good. Okay, that's just an empty cardboard in there. 5 atmospheres is good. We got a backyard pool, so that's kind of nice. It is it's a USB charge on the into the charger on the A side. It's an A USB, and then it's a proprietary, looks like, a couple buttons here. It just kind of, hopefully it snaps on. Oh yeah, so just here, I will open this up. Okay, the band feels not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm not particularly picky on the bands. What I'm wearing with my Garmin is actually aftermarket bands, so that's good. Oh yeah, it's a pretty decent magnet, and See, it's not going quite on, so I'm going in from the wrong side. And that just kind of snaps on. It's not too bad. Of course, sits kind of funny. If you were to try and put it down and lay it down, you have to lay it on its face or kind of stand it up a little bit. So a little bit unusual, but it's not bad. Okay, so that's the charger cable. Is that all that's in this guy? I'm thinking yes. So not a lot of accessories coming with it. Not very expensive. I think it was $108 Canadian. So here's some of the features. 1.64 inch AMOLED display, long battery life, 12 animated fitness courses. From what I can see, it basically just, it'll walk you through some training stuff, showing you how to do certain exercises, 96 different workout modes. It'll be interesting to see if it will auto detect, you know, if I'm, say, doing a treadmill run or something like that, instead of having to start it and go directly to it. Scientific workout guidance, so it can give you some extra information. Full health monitoring, so several health management features, including 24/7 heart rate monitoring and sleep tracking. Now, I will need to install the Huawei app on my phone, so we'll see how that goes as well. One button, and it looks like a probably a microphone there. Yeah, so that'll be the heart rate sensor on the back there. Let's peel that. Nice little peel. Okay, so let's see if it turns on or if I need to charge it. Hey, she's dead. Oh, here she comes. Nice little, had a little vibrate when it turned on. Okay, let's do a setup. Let's do English. Pairing. I gotta do the health app. Got an old Samsung Galaxy S4 here. Just ancient phone that is not used for much, so I need the Huawei okay, so Huawei Health, HUAWEI Health. There it is. Install. Wow, I don't know why it needs my contacts. There we go. Open. I better not need to do a bunch of stuff like put in names and stuff like that. This didn't die, did it? Ah, it's called Health. There it is. The Huawei Health app. Hit the button. Haven't rebooted. Canada. Okay, well, we'll look at the language app later. Devices, add. It is a smartwatch instead of a band. And it is, now it's updating. Okay, Watch Fit series, okay. Pair. I have Bluetooth on. So yes, that's the right one. So that's a little weird. Okay, paired successful. So before I hook it up to my normal phone, I'm sure I'm going to have to unpair it from this phone. Okay, so that's what we've got here. I swipe up, no messages. Swipe down, no. Yeah, swipe down. Sleep. Watch brightness, vibrate, alarm clock, settings. What other kind of settings we got in here? What do we got in the display? We can change the watch face. Oops. Settings. Display. Watch face. That's the standard. That's not bad. That I don't mind. That's kind of cool. That's not bad. So I gotta watch my ancient eyes here to make sure I got something that, holy crap. Welcome to the 80s. That's funny. Black tile. I don't mind the looks of that, but I've got kind of old eyes here. I want something nice and bright, not too much information on screen, but something that I can just see it all. This one looks like heart rate, footsteps, and apparently I timed out while I'm doing that, so let's go there. Oh, that's a new one with just that. Interesting. That's not bad. Hey there. One quick update here. I've got, when I moved my watch over to my newer phone, the version of the Huawei Health from the Google Play Store would not update to get me the list of new devices. So I ended up having to install an APK or an Android app from the Huawei store. Of course, then you need to sign up at the store. You need to give more information. Feels a little sketchy. Because, yeah, there's... Why did it work on the old phone but not the new one? I'm betting new security features on the newer phones and the newer devices. Okay, so it's been a week now since I got the Huawei Watch Fit. My impressions for using it for a week and some of the stuff that's happened with it, and my overall thoughts on it. So, in the original video, I used an old phone, a Samsung Galaxy S4, to connect to the watch, and I went through the whole Huawei application and set it all up. I was able to select and link it and do a few things like that, and then that all worked. But then when I went to basically I disconnected it from that phone to put it to my newer phone, my Galaxy S10, and it wouldn't work. The problem was the older version of the Huawei app on the Google Play Store just couldn't connect or wouldn't connect or something to the Huawei databases. It was out of date application. This probably has to do with a bunch of the stuff that was happening with the US government versus Huawei and a bunch of things there. So to get it to work, you end up having to go to the Huawei Play Store, their gamer app store, and get it downloaded from there. And they initially try and make you download their store and then the app, and it's a Samsung phone, so I'm stuck with the Samsung app store stuck on here. I've got the Google Play Store where I actually get the stuff I use, and then they were going to try and get the Huawei one on here as well. So luckily I was able to basically just download the APK and install it. It does ask for a lot more permissions than I would necessarily like for the thing. I mean, you can make a justification for several of them, but it's still just kind of... I don't like apps that need everything to do stuff. They don't necessarily need to do this or do that, or maybe some people want to be able to send others their workout information, so scanning the contacts makes sense. But other than that, I don't really see a need for a fitness application to know my contacts. Anyway, that's just a side rant. But other than that, once I was able to get that to go, linking up works perfectly fine. It links up beautifully. Did a bunch of tweaking, setting things up the way I like, changing some watch faces and things like that. So there are some free watch faces on the through the Huawei Health app that you have to connect through into their store. Of course, a lot of them are paid for, but there are free ones, and there are some good ones that I liked. I switched to one that gives me the bits and pieces I want to see at a glance. It's nice and it's bright and things like that. So that's not too bad. From the perspective of brightness, because I brought it up, you can leave your watch on auto brightness, and it's not bad, but I like things a little brighter. And the higher the brightness you set, the more battery it's going to use, of course. For me, I'm using it at 3. I used it at 4 for a while. It goes up to 5. I used it at 4 for a while, but then if I moved my arm at night when I was sleeping, it would get too bright when it wake up, and it was just too much. So I put it down to 3, and that seems to be fine. If I move during the night, it's not a bright enough light to wake me up, but yet it's still nice and sharp and clear during the day out in the sunlight. So that seems to be a good spot for me. It's still probably brighter than the auto, so I am burning more battery than I normally would be. There's a bunch of the auto tests I have it doing. Automatic heart rate checking, blood oxygen checking, a few of those things that I've set up within the Help app and within the watch, and those take more battery life as well as they do that. But it's been interesting to kind of watch my blood oxygen, stuff like that, especially as I get on the treadmill, do some speed work on the treadmill, things like that, just making sure that, you know, I'm not going to just pass out for lack of oxygen, that kind of thing. And it's been good to see. To track those kind of things and look at it. The stress monitoring is kind of interesting. I can see when my workday begins, so it's at least picking something up in my body different during the workday as opposed to when I'm not at work. Yeah, so that's those pieces seem to be working okay. I have done a couple, 3 outdoor walks essentially on the same route, or basically repeated a route 3 times and tracked it with the GPS on the watch here. And it's a route I've done multiple times, so I know how long it is from other applications and other devices. And basically got a consistent GPS reading, strong reading the whole time. Yeah, when you look at it in the app, it does lay it out on a map, and it followed the path I was on. So that is good. That works. That works well. I'm happy with that. I've mentioned battery life a few times. Go back to that. So in this week, I have charged it twice. No, charged it once. No, that's not quite right. So I charged it after I set it all up. I charged it, so it was up to 100%, and then I charged it again on Wednesday. But in that time, I'd done multiple GPS things. I'd had it tracking a treadmill run, just to see how well it did on basically tracking something indoors, which I'll get to in a sec. And I did a bunch of other things. I used a bunch of apps. I played with it a lot. So the 3 to 4 days before I charge it again, it was down at 28%. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but I turned on a lot of the features that burn more battery with the automatic checking and all that kind of stuff. So it does make some sense. So you turn off a bunch of those kind of features if you're trying to get longer battery life and just test when you want to test and things like that. So that's not too bad. I mean, right now it's greater than 50% right now. So it looks like with everything turned on that I'm turning on, and I feel comfortable charging it at about 25% just to make sure it's always charged. That's lasting about 4 days to get there, 4 to 5 days. So not great, but it's actually a little bit better than what my Samsung Active Watch was doing. So nowhere near as good as the Garmin, where I can go weeks without charging. It's doing not bad for that. For the treadmill walk or treadmill run that I did, where I basically set it up and did a treadmill run, it did miss some of my steps and stuff like that, so it didn't get the full distance. But the nice thing was when the run is complete, before it saves, it asks you if you want to adjust the distance for your tracking. And so that was good. It missed a bit, so it was a little off, so I just made a quick adjustment to it, saved it, and it saved it at the distance I told it. So you don't have to worry about it automatically recording an inaccurate value that you can't fix later. So that was good. That was well thought out, and we'll have to try it some more just to see if it gets more consistent over time, that it's catching all my steps on a treadmill and things like that. But other than that, was good. Other exercising stuff, I haven't tried any of the other workouts or any pieces like that. I do have it set to auto detect when I'm working out, but I haven't had that actually catch anything yet. Might be the length of time. Like when I do some weights, I'll do, be here in my home office and I'll do 5 minutes of weights and put them down, and it doesn't seem to detect that specifically, or doesn't come up and tell me that it's detected me exercising. What are you doing? So they can track it properly. Haven't seen that. I've been in the pool and done a bunch of breaststroke stuff because, I mean, that was the most exaggerated movement I could come up with in the pool, and it didn't detect that. So I'm not sure if they even has a swimming exercise that it detects. It's got the magnetic charger that snaps on and charges it. It's a fast charge from the 28% to 100%. I didn't hit a timer, unfortunately, to know how long it was, but it was definitely less than a half an hour. I'm thinking closer to 15 minutes to do the full charge. So that was nice to see that it was that quick. How the charger snaps on with the magnets is pretty good. It's fairly strong. It'll only go on the one way. It's polarized, so that you always get the plus and minus from the charger in the right spot. The thing is you can't, the way it sits and the way the band is, when it's on charge, you can't have it sitting face up, facing you or something like that. You got to have it laying on its side with the charger cable going out the right way, or laying on its face with the charger cable on the back, which is fine. It's just not a really long charging cable. So the one side is a USB-A though, so you can get a USB extension cable and plug it in differently. But from where mine is, I charge it here in the computer room during the workday as opposed to at night in the bedroom, because where I have an outlet in the bedroom, the cable just won't reach. It's not a very long cable. So that is one thing to look for. But I mean, if you wanted to do your sleep tracking, you're not going to charge it at night anyway while you're sleeping. That's the other thing. Sleep tracking is good. It does auto-detect the sleep tracking quite well. I had a nap during the week, just an unexpected nap. I was sitting on the couch and I was out. It detected I was napping. And it did all the standard sleep tracking with REM and deep and light sleep, and figured out how long I had been asleep and things like that. So the sleep detection and that monitoring seems to be pretty solid. That's another positive. Conclusion, I don't mind it. It's got a lot of good features as just a simple smart watch with some exercise features built in. I like the built-in GPS. So there's a lot of pieces I like about it, and some of the privacy features I get concerned about, but it's that is what it is. In conclusion though, I guess if you can get it inexpensively enough, like I got one and it was on sale, and then it went on sale even further, and we picked up one for my wife. Ultimately, I'd love to have one of the higher end Garmin ones that are much more rugged, so it could say take on trail runs, and it's going to take a really good beating. But for an inexpensive price, if you can get it really on sale, it's not a bad device. It seems to work quite well for the features it does. The heart rate seems to work well. Stress monitoring, sleeping, the blood oxygen, all seems to be pretty solid. All seems to be pretty good. The water, as I said, I was in the pool, so the water resistance is working as of right now. Yeah. So, it's not bad. I wouldn't pay twice the price for it, that's for sure, but for the price I paid, and especially the extra cheaper price we paid for the wife's, it's not so bad. Anyway, if you have had one of these Huawei watches, let me know in the comments down below what you think of yours and how long it's lasted, because this has just been a week so far, and I haven't managed to break it, but I haven't been trying. So let me know your comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.